Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Box Markets for Monday, the 10th of May. Starting off with Amigo, where it's always good to see a stock hit initial target or break it even in this case. Here we had a rising trend channel from December. That was promising us a target around 27, 28 pence, which has been exceeded. And while we're above the initial May resistance, I suppose that was around, say, 27 pence. Looking for further significant gains here, perhaps as high as 50 pence over the next month or two, maybe by the end of next month, possibly up to 50 pence. And the upside valid at least while we're above the recent support there around 25. But ideally, we remain above 27 pence and head up quite directly. Moving along to a stock which is not quite in the same kind of league yet, let's say, Anglesey Mining. Here we've got a situation where shares have taken a long time to take up the slack of that spike in January towards 11 pence. Quite a vicious retracement back down towards 3.25. But a nice bounce today to start the week off the 200-day moving average, rising at 3.85 pence. And a decent end-of-day close above the 50-day line at 4.43 should at least take us up towards the main resistance on the way down around 7 pence. And that could be seen by the end of this month. If you're a fan of the stock and want to dream of greater achievements, then maybe up to that resistance line there from December, heading up to 17 pence could be seen over the next 2 to 3 months. But let's get to 7 pence first. I think that might be a decent thing to do. Upside argument value while there's no end of day close back below the 200-day line at 3.85. On to a situation where there's normally some charting value to be had, and in this case it's Braveheart with the rebound off the 200-day moving average at 44 pence, or just under 45 pence. The interest here is really that we could be seeing a rebound off the floor of this falling trend channel from February. That's heading towards 42 pence as its support, so while we're above that, the chance of a rebound back towards the 50-day line at 69 pence over the next 2 to 4 weeks. We saw a rebound, similar type of rebound, last month from below 60 pence up to 80, so in this case maybe from 45 up to 70 might fit the bill, especially if we are at the bottom of this channel. Top of the channel at £1.20, which obviously would be quite a result, but at this stage above 42, looking for 70 or so near the 50-day moving average. Next contender is one which has been quite an outperformer of late, Keris Mineral Resources. And a bit like Amigo, we've seen the shares hit the top of a trend channel. In this case, it was 27 pence, and an end of day close above the initial May resistance at 27.4 could take the shares up to a new leg to the upside, heading as high as 45 pence by the end of next month. So looking pretty strong there for Keris at the moment. On to another mining situation, Galileo Resources. Here we've had the attempt, or a decent attempt at a break above the intraday high of April. That was at 1.8 pence, so an end of day close above that, or a weekly close above that today. And we could be on the way towards the top of a rising trend channel from back in November. That's promising us a target as high as 3.25 pence, and that could be seen as soon as the end of next month. This stage only really back below the 50-day line at 1.52 pence, really questioning the recovery argument there for Galileo. Iconic Labs has been quite a punter's favourite in the recent past, and I suppose with the price action today, it's going to be even more of a favourite. A wonderful rebound there, actually testing the range of Friday. With Friday we had that rather nasty fallback, but today almost the opposite of that, so opening near the low and currently at the high of the day. End of day close above Friday's peak at 0.19 should be enough to take the shares on to 0.035 as a target, perhaps as soon as the end of next month, and with a bit of luck, as soon as the end of this month. This stage only really back below April resistance, that was at 0.014, really delaying the upside scenario. Moving along to another mining contender. Here we've got Kavango rather. Here we've broken that resistance line there from February. That was at 3.5 pence, and so an end of day close above that should be enough to take the shares up to the top of a broadening triangle from back in August, currently promising us a target as high as 6 pence as soon as the end of next month. Only back below the 50-day line, 3.17, really delaying that particular bull scenario for. On to Phoenix Copper, which has had a decent breakout today after quite a long period of consolidation. That's been in place since September, so one would have thought the slack has finally been taken up for the shares. Interestingly enough, the 200-day moving average rather has been rising for several months now, so that was perhaps directing the flow of the trend. But above 40 pence, looking for as high as 85 pence as soon as the end of next month, and only really back below the 50-day line at 37.66, really delaying the upside scenario for Phoenix any time soon. Big news today for Powerhouse Energy regarding Hydrogen Utopia, which looks as though it has delivered a bear trap rebound from below the 200-day moving average at 4.93 pence. Above that on an end-of-day close basis, and we could be starting the journey towards a long-awaited move towards that June resistance line projection from last year. That's promising us a target as high as 15 or 16 pence over the next 2 to 3 months, maybe as soon as the end of next month. If you're cautious on the shares, then maybe you wait for an end-of-day close through the 50-day moving average at 5.96 pence before assuming that 15 pence plus is on its way for the shares. But at least while we're above 4.4 pence, last week's support for the shares, it looks as though we're ready after 2 to 3, well, actually nearly 6 months of consolidation for a move to the upside. Big news today with a star investor on board for Riverfort. Shares were already doing quite well over recent months, but a nice spike today after a move higher, key reversal of support on Friday. Also, a big plus is when you have shares rising from the placing price. So in this case, we're well above the sub 2 pence level where the placing was delivered. And we've got a target here up to January resistance line projection as high as 3 pence, and that could be seen as soon as the end of this month. So looking pretty firm there. Good mention in the Daily Mail, the Mail on Sunday yesterday for Trident Resources, and it's delivered the goods in terms of a spike for the shares. What we'd like to see, though, is an end-of-day close at least above 39 pence in that resistance line there from December. If we can get that, then the target here could be as high as 70 pence by the end of next month. Only really back below the 50-day moving average, just shy of 36 pence, really delaying the upside scenario. Just a couple of stocks to go now. One is a stock which is frequently attacked by the bears, and hence I'm always quite keen to look at it and see whether they're going to be right or not. One of my favorite rules is that when you break 15 pence, the next target on a stock can be up to 25. Just seems to be, tends to be quite a good flow there between those two numbers. And in this case, above 15, we are looking for 25, maybe a bit more than that by the end of next month. And if we're lucky, even by the end of this month. This stage really back below that March peak at 12.1 pence, really delaying the upside scenario, but it looks as though we should hopefully stay above 15 to get us that 25 pence on turn over the near term. Finishing off with a stock which was requested last week, and looks as though whoever requested it knew what they were doing. Here we've got a situation where we've broken recent resistance on Uru Metals or URU Metals. That peak there at 339, 340, and old resistance broken quite comprehensively. So while we're above 340, looking for as high as £7 as soon as the end of next month. So looking pretty perky there for URU, especially given the extended, well, the latest break after an extended consolidation. But that looks like a sort of an extended inverted head and shoulders, or even a cup and handle reversal as well. So a mixture between the two. So above 340, £7 on the cards over the near term. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.